So, we're diving into this intriguing shift where cracks are starting to appear in MAGA over Israel's actions in Gaza, and it's really a sign of changing tides in political discourse.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fascinating how individuals once staunchly aligned with certain views are starting to question them now, right?
Exactly, and some MAGA loyalists, including, say, Marjorie Taylor Greene, have been mentioned alongside podcasters like Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan for turning on Israel in the wake of the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. It's rather eye opening.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like the narrative is shifting because of the growing awareness and controversy over what's happening on the ground in Gaza.
Yeah, it's like the situation in Gaza is causing some real internal debates. There's this sort of split where some who were previously unquestioning in their support are now expressing
Right.
dissent because of the humanitarian perspective. It's a pretty significant shift.
And what strikes me is how this is being covered on platforms like MSNBC and YouTube, where the video description and transcripts show that major names and hashtags like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Trump, and Joe Rogan are front and center.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the hashtags, it's the experts involved in these discussions. You got the New York Times chief White House correspondent Peter Baker, along with folks from Semaphore and The Atlantic, like Shelby Talcott and Yair Rosenberg, weighing in on the analysis.
Yeah.
Their insights add a layer of depth to it all.
Mm-hmm. And these voices provide a kind of counterbalance to the narrative, showing that there's a serious analytical approach behind what might otherwise be seen as just social media outrage.
Right? And it's like, if you think about it, the revival of these debates within the MAGA community is a bit of a microcosm of larger national tensions. On one hand, you've got a sense of loyalty to past policies, and on the other, there's this emerging humanitarian conscience that's causing real internal friction. Definitely a clash of ideologies.
Yep. Now, I've got to ask, do you think this is just a temporary reactionary stance because of the crisis in Gaza, or is it signaling a deeper, more ideological shift within the movement?
That's a great question. I mean, it could be seen as either an opportunistic political recalibration or a genuine awakening to ethical considerations in foreign policy. It's not entirely clear cut.
Right. And it kind of brings to mind how political movements can, well, sometimes be more fluid than we give them credit for. A long-standing allegiance to a particular country or policy might shift in response to evolving humanitarian crises.
Exactly. It's like you're watching a slow-motion chess game where every move forces the players to reevaluate even their deepest principles. And every move seems to generate a ripple effect that challenges the very core of their support system.
And the MSDNCB and YouTube video we're looking at really digs into that, presenting these debates. It emphasizes that the crisis in Gaza isn't just a geopolitical flashpoint, it's also shaking up domestic political allegiances.
And, one of the interesting points is how some MAGA voices are turning their criticism towards Israel, something that wasn't as common before. It's almost like they're confronting a reality where their previous loyalties no longer align seamlessly with current events. It's a sharp pivot.
Yeah, but I have to play devil's advocate here. Could it be that some are just trying to reposition themselves politically for upcoming opportunities? I mean, shifting narratives can sometimes be more about, say, rebranding than genuine ideological change.
That's a fair point, and I do think there's an element of political strategy at play. It's like you're seeing a recalibration where some politicians and influencers want to harness the energy of discontent to move into a new space. But it still begs the question, is it moral reevaluation or just political opportunism?
Exactly. And that tension is what's making this so compelling. It's not a black and white issue. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza is catastrophic by any measure. So when voices within a movement known for staunch positions start to express concern, it's bound to create a rift.
Right, and this divergence is having ripple effects across social media networks too. Tweets, posts, and YouTube comments are all buzzing with debates, with some tagging in strong support for Israel and others arguing for a more critical stance.
Yeah.
The conversation's definitely heating up online.
And what's interesting is that this isn't just about international policy, it's about domestic identity too. Some MAGA supporters may feel that their core values are being challenged by the actions and policies they once unconditionally supported.
Totally. It's like they're being forced to reconcile a sort of cognitive dissonance, where loyalty to a political identity is suddenly at odds with um, the ethical implications of state actions overseas. It's a tough nut to crack.
And that, in turn, generates a lot of internal conversation. Podcasts like Joe Rogan's or Theo Von's discussions, for example, serve as platforms where these emerging critiques can really be hashed out.
Exactly. And it's like these platforms are now more than just entertainment. They're becoming arenas for serious political debate, even among groups that might have once seemed monolithic. That shift is really
Right.
noteworthy.
Which makes you wonder, how will this internal fracturing impact future political alliances within the broader MAGA movement?
Yeah, it's a kind of domino effect, isn't it? Each debate and each public statement contributes to an evolving narrative that could redefine alliances for years to come. Absolutely transformative.
And also, there's a media strategy twist here. MSNBC's coverage and the video's transcript show that major networks are capitalizing on these shifts by diving deep into the analysis and offering a platform to experts who question and critique these behaviors.
Right, and that's a two-edged sword. On one hand, you get in-depth political analysis from seasoned correspondents like Peter Baker and Shelby Talcott, but on the other, it might reinforce echo chambers where viewers only see analysis that confirms what they already believe. A bit of a
Yeah.
challenge for balanced discourse.
We have to consider that media coverage itself can shape these emerging opinions. The way these topics are presented can either encourage deeper inquiry or just inflame passions further.
Precisely, it's like media narratives can function as both mirrors and molders of public opinion, reflecting emerging changes while also influencing which voices get amplified. It's a complex interplay.
And then there's the element of immediacy with platforms like YouTube, where these discussions can go viral within hours, letting public sentiment shift rapidly based on what the trending videos highlight.
Exactly. It's a whole new era where political narratives can pivot in real time. And it makes you wonder how long it might take for these cracks to potentially widen into a deeper, more pronounced split within the MAGA ranks. It's a development worth keeping an eye on.
Absolutely. And it's not just about foreign policy. This whole situation also touches on themes of accountability, loyalty, and the role of leadership in times of crisis.
Right, and when you factor in all these voices, from influential lawmakers to popular media personalities, it really shows that the conversation isn't static. It's evolving, taking on layers that might reshape political affiliations over time. And that evolution is both unpredictable and fascinating.
And as much as we're discussing this from an analytical standpoint, it also poses real human questions about how we reconcile political identity with ethical responsibilities on the global stage.
Exactly. It's like balancing a scale where each side carries not just political weight, but moral weight as well. And that balance, as
Right.
always, is tricky, very intricate indeed.
So, as this space continues to evolve, it will be really interesting to see if these emerging cracks lead to a broader reconceptualization of MAGA ideology, or if it's just a momentary reflection of the crisis in Gaza.
Absolutely. And regardless of which way it goes, this conversation highlights how political narratives are constantly shaped by both current events and the voices that dare to challenge the status quo. Truly a fascinating juncture in political discourse.
No doubt about it. And it's these dynamic debates that keep the political landscape, well, ever so intriguing, forcing everyone to question and re-examine their positions.
Right. So keep watching, keep questioning, and always be open to the evolving narratives. It's these conversations that ultimately pave the way for a more transparent and informed dialogue among all of us. Couldn't agree
Yeah.
more.
Thanks for the enlightening discussion. Definitely a deep dive into both the media lens and the shifting political allegiances at play.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in to this deep dive into the dynamics of political discourse in times of crisis.